you know, there were side effects, or it was difficult for her to maintain it on her own.
Now there's hope for me, and my medication didn't change. My relationships to other people didn't change until I started to apply some of the skills that I learned in CET. Role playing, perspective taking, empathy.
Prior to CET, I was a sounding board. If she needed to vent, she called and I was the sounding board. And now the relationship is much more two-way. She's a sounding board to me. I mean, it's much more reciprocal.
The greatest thing I got from CET is being able to relate to my family, my sister, especially my mom. It came in the nick of time. It gave me a lot of hope that there was a chance that I could have my life back, and I did. And it's amazing.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ellen Doyle. I was one of the members you just saw highlighted in the video about the CET program at Bridgehaven. I just want to take a few more minutes of your time to expand on my story and explain my struggles preceding coming to Bridgehaven 9 years ago. My story begins in the 1960s in Plano, Texas, a Norman Rockwell life to those looking in. Upper middle class neighborhood, 2 brothers, a sister, caring, educated parents. It was a leave it to beaver existence. But then I went through puberty. Things started to change for me during my high school years. Voices slowly and powerfully started to take over my mind and my existence. Theater became my activity of choice, giving the voices an outlet to pretend. It seemed to help, but not enough to mask my odd and paranoid behaviors that had begun. To say the least, my new mental health issues caused my family alarm and led to trouble, upset, doctors, medications that didn't work, and the beginnings of massive amounts of hospitalizations as I tried to start my college experience. My acting out led to a very poor decision to get married at a very young age. This was a time when I could not take care of myself, much less be in a relationship. He whisked me off to Las Vegas to begin our lives together. In a short amount of time, my husband could not deal with the path and the severity that my mental health was on, and he divorced me. The divorce left me homeless, without resources, medication, or support. When I wasn't, when I wasn't living on the streets of Las Vegas for the next 7 years, I was hospitalized at least 33 times. It was a revolving door all those many years. Streets, shelters, hospitals, streets, shelters, hospitals, over and over and over. In 2003, I had all I could take physically and mentally. It was sink or swim, and somehow, through the chaos in my head, I made the decision to swim and survive. I had been reading the works of Thomas Merton, and I felt that if Louisville, Kentucky was home to such a deep and thoughtful man, maybe it could be a place of healing for me too, right? I managed to afford a bus ticket, and it was off to the unknown in Kentucky. The very day I arrived, I was seeking help, and found the system and connections of social service agencies here were amazing compared to what I had come from. Within 2 years, I received the right medication for the first time in my life, disability so I could maintain housing, and a social worker that helped me transition each time I left the hospital. In 2005, they suggested I go to Bridgehaven and just give it a try. What would that hurt? So I did just that. Immediately upon arriving at Bridgehaven, I felt acceptance, understanding, that I was liked, friendships, and a sense of belonging that I had not felt since I was a little girl. I finally had the key to my mind and my heart. Over the past 9 years, I've only gone in the hospital twice for very, very short stays. That is a miracle in itself compared to what I had been through. Thank you. Thank you very much. On top of all this, Bridgehaven began offering the CET program a few years ago. And as you saw in the video, this was the cherry on top to completely turning my life around and reconnecting me with my family in Texas. In fact, I just came here last week to celebrate my 50th birthday with me, an age I don't think any of them thought I would ever reach. My heart was so full of celebrating such a milestone, surrounded by my family again. I just can't explain to you how great that made me feel. With Bridgehaven and CET, I really do feel I was handed the key, not only to my mind, but to the beginning of my life. I'm discovering new things about myself each and every day as a student, an artist, a friend, a daughter, and a sister. It is beyond words to describe to you how wonderful it is to have that lock opened. I just want to thank Bridgehaven, not only in the video, but also here today in person, to shout from the rooftops how grateful I am for what they have done for me. And I'd also like to thank all of you for caring enough about the members' lives at Bridgehaven to take the time to be here today to listen to our stories of struggle and recovery. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ellen. Very powerful, very, very powerful. Good morning. My name is Dennis Boyd, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank you for sharing this early hour of your day. I'm thrilled to see so many familiar and new faces here this morning. As you've heard from others, Bridgehaven has been facing challenges, but you have also heard big dreams for the immediate future, for helping even more people in our community, not only recovery, but meaningful lives. In fact, when I stood here before you at this time last year, the board faced the issue of survival. At a time when managed care began impacting access to services and other similar programs across the state were closing, the board decided to double down and take steps to assure that Bridgehaven